somebody would have told me, babe, that someday these will be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. Someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of these good old days.
Before you get started, I'm going to have you introduce yourself to my audience.
My name is Patricia Berry, and I am Lariah's great aunt.
My name is Michelle Spencer Pickens. I am Lariah's grandmother.
We can get straight into it. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions basically about our family history.
Okay.
The first one, who are the Grahams?
The Graham actually is a Graham Shuford because my grandfather, after my biological grandmother passed away, he married my step-grandmother. And so we are known as the Graham Shufords.
The Graham Shuford family is a multi-generational legacy rooted in strength, faith, resilience, and heritage. We descended from men and women whose lives were marked by hard work, courage, and deep commitment to family.
Our family, we have engineers, we have educators, we have health science professionals, we have entrepreneurs, we have musicians, we have music producers, we have deans of colleges, we have accountants, we have lawyers, we have public servants, we have NFL players.
We are the children and grandchildren of people who planted their lives in service, a community of love, people who believed in raising families, protecting one another, and passing down values that shaped who we are today.
Yes, thank you. That was such a beautiful answer.
Okay.
So the second question I have is, where does our family come from?
We come from Lawrence County, Alabama, Moss to be exact. Our roots are planted in a place rich with history, struggle, and courage.
We particularly come from Moses, to be exact. And those roots are planted in a place that's rich with American history, where there was struggle, where there was courage. In Lowndes County, and you may be able to look that up, was a major focal point of the civil rights movement. And it was known as Bloody Lowndes.
Because of the violence faced by Black activists who fought for the right to vote.
So pack the car
I think
and
it's
dry
so
your eyes.
important that we make sure that we exercise that right to vote. Our family comes from a land watered with sacrifice, strengthened by resilience, and shaped by the determination of those who refuse to be silenced. We will not be silenced.
Thank you. Next question I have is, what is one family tradition that we uphold?
Well, one of our family traditions that we uphold, that we look forward to every year, we've been getting together as a family since 1982.
We have a retreat that we do with the cousins, and it's called the Graham sisters, the Graham We Rockers. It's something like that. You know, the Graham family, the girl rock, the Graham girls rock. That's what it is. And you know, it's we get together and we all go out. We get a cabin and we just show up for one another.
We started out every year doing a family reunion, and you know that became a bit much because it was so many people to kind of gather, and then that became expensive. So we get together every 2 years now, and that is a tradition where we show up for one another, and we hold our family reunions, which I think is so sacred to us as a family, where we gather together. We're reminded of who we are. We get a chance to hear biannually where we come from, what that rich heritage looked like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Next question, similar to the second one, what are our family origins?
Our origins are grounded in a place where courage was not optional, it was survival. And that And that same strength still runs through our blood today.
Our family origins, I think when you go back to Lowndes County, when you go back to Bloody Lowndes, I
Yeah.
think that is forged in resilience, it's forged in faith and strength. We come from a lineage that rose from hardship, sharecroppers.
We believe in keeping the circle strong. We believe in showing up because showing up is how our ancestors survived, how our parents endured, how our children will continue to thrive. You know, our daughters and our sons and our daughters, they don't call each other cousins, they call each other sisters and brothers. You know, that's how our legacy is. That's how our family is.
And so one of the things that during that sharecropper time, African Americans were given or promised 10 mules and an acre. What I think is so phenomenal of my grandfather, he walked away with 180 acres of land. And so our family is still living on that land. Our family is still building on that land, and they've established a foundation that's strong enough to support generations to come.
So the next question I have is, how did our family get so big?
Ooh, child. Well, our family, as you know, our family got big because our patriot, which is my grandfather, his name was Tommy Graham, who we affectionately called Pi. He had 18 children.
Our family is big because we come from a patriarch whose legacy was large. Tommy, How is his nickname. He's known as Pi Graham, who had 18 children. This man wasn't playing, okay? Out of those 18 children, 14 of his children had children. And from them came the generations that make up the Graham super family, what is today.
My oldest uncle Cleveland, he had 8 kids. My aunt Lula, she had 6 children. Aunt Daisy had 11. My aunt Sarah had 1. My aunt Bama had 11, and Uncle John had 6. Uncle Grant had 5. My dad had 11 children. Uncle Claude had 1. Oral Lee, which is my cousin, my aunt, she had 5. Uncle Bernard and Uncle Brenton, they were twins. Uncle Bernard had 2, Uncle Brenton had 3, and then my Aunt Ann and Aunt Alice had 4 children each. So out of that came us, and then we started expanding our families. And so those 14 kids produced 78 children.
Pi's 18 children blossomed into one of the largest, strongest, and most deeply rooted families in Laos County and beyond. We're just not in Laos County, we're all over the world. The Graham super family live all over the United States of America. We are big because we come from abundance of life, abundance of love, and we love our legacy. Family over everything.
Okay, and then last question. Do we have any significant ancestors?
Yes, we do. Our most significant ancestor is Tommy Graham, affectionately known as Pop. And he was a true patriot and a cornerstone in our family's history.
I was a business owner when it wasn't popular. When it wasn't popular, Black folks just weren't a business owner. They purchased what they needed. He had a grocery store, so he was a grocery store proprietor. He owned a farmer's market because he had so much land. And so on that land, of course, he had produce. He was a respected member of the community. He served both on city council and he served on the school board. Word is that nothing happened in Lowndes County without my grandfather's say so.
While history talks about 40 acres and a mule, Pi surpassed that narrative by walking away with 180 acres of land. The land became a generational inheritance property that his children received 10 acres each, land that our family still lives on works on and stewards to this very day. We still own 180 acres of land because my grandfather made sure that he would pass a legacy down to his children, and they would be able to pass it down to their children.
Thank you for letting me interview you and for the information. It was very enriching. I learned a lot of new things, especially about my great-great-grandfather, Tommy Graham. Well then, that was my last question, so that would be the ending for us. I want to thank you again for letting me interview you.